hipsters are now tired of smartphones, so they're going back to so-called dumb phones. And they're doing so because they really want to unplug, and it's not necessarily a bad idea, okay? So the San Francisco Chronicle detailed this story, and they were talking about how people are really frustrated with the fact that they're constantly having to check email, they need to reply all the time. So people are going back to these flip phones where all you can do is make calls and send and receive text messages. One person, Tamar, says, people always ask me what my relationship with my phone is, and I'm like, I don't have one.
Yeah, all right. So Tamar is described as a 34-year-old Oakland artist. Okay, hipsters.
No, but I think they have a point. I'm addicted to my phone. I have serious withdrawals when it's not
Yeah,
right
if I
by
gave
me.
you a dumb phone, you'd smash it within like 3/4 of a day.
100%.
You'd be like, oh, haha, see, I'm not addicted to it. Twitch away, and then you sit too long, give me the new phone. It's smart. Okay, so now look, here's the thing. If you want to address that in other ways, I get it, but, and look, if you don't have the money for it, and they cost too much, I 1,000,000% get it, right? Then I think it makes a lot of sense. And those the so-called dumb phones are now like a nickel, right? They're like, oh, you want one? Here, take it for free. What do I get, right? But if you're a hipster and you're like, oh, dude, I don't want to check my email in the middle of doing my art. Okay, like whatever, dude. Then don't check it in the middle of that. Go home and check it then. You know what I'm saying? Just exercise some self-control. All you're doing is taking options away from you.
And you love options.
I like options.
Yeah. No, I mean, some people don't have self-control, right? So I don't begrudge them for wanting to get rid of their smartphone and trading them in for a dumb phone. Just some really interesting facts and figures when it comes to the phone population, okay? So total dumb phone owners, 30%, 13 of which are between the ages of 25 and 34, which is the age group that Tamar fell under.
Yeah, now I don't mind this in the case of like younger kids. Like, so I want to give my kid a phone because if he gets into an emergency, I want him to be able to call me. I don't want to give him a smartphone where he's going to watch Netflix all day instead of paying attention in class. That makes a ton of sense. Okay, but then I might accidentally turn my kid into a hipster.
That would be terrible.
There are worse fates in the world.
It is kind of interesting how like things will get played out, whether it's technology or clothing, and then people will bring it back, right? Like, oh, this is the unhip thing, so now I'm going to make it hip again.
Yeah.
I always found that fascinating.
That's under the surface what's grating on my nerves. And that's my issue with hipsters. Like, they're always trying to find what's cool. Maybe it's because I don't know what's cool and I'm not a cool person, right? But like, dude, why did you bother going back to like the 1970s and bring your bell bottoms back? And why? And then now, okay, oh, dude, you know what's really cool is playing Atari. Yeah, that was really cool in 1987. And so I'm not into the whole hipster thing of creating things that are cool based on nothing but utter bullshit.
I think you're cool, Cenk.
Oh, well, thank you, Casper.
I think this is the other problem, though. I mean, everyone has their smartphones, but they have this. Some reason you're told you have to download everything. You have to have Facebook, Twitter, Vine,
Instagram.
Click, this, that, bip, and the bop, and that one, and this one, and this different way to communicate. You don't have to get them all. So when the phone presents you with all of these different apps, don't use them. So I get notifications that come up all the time and say, updating all these applications. Do you want this app? Do you want this app? Do you want that app? All that told me was I need to delete all these fucking apps that I don't use because I have no use for them. And I would be annoyed if I had all those constantly send me notifications. I was like, why is this cute? Why do I have these? I don't use them. I'm not gonna go on. What's the one where you send for 3 seconds and go, huh? Or you send a dick pic. Whatever the use of that is that I have no use for. Why is it on my phone? I don't need it there. You know.
I like that I have my fellow grandpa on the panel here. Okay, I'm right there with you, brother.
Yeah, people feel like they have to do it. You don't need to dumb down to dumb phone. Just don't use your smartphone to the extent that you don't want it.
You know that my wife yells at me for not having enough apps on my phone.
Really?
She's like, what's the point of this phone? You only have like 8 apps. It only has 8 apps. I'm like, why do I need 38 apps? I don't know what to do with them. Right?